Make sure they don't have anything in the pockets. We want to focus on just the gates today. Hopefully we can start guessing the pains after the gate. You guys are ready? This is the last round for now. Okay. What did you guys see?
Left foot?
Yeah, your feet, you're supinated, you're externally rotated at your hips and at your knees. Your right hip and, or sorry, left hip and shoulder lifted a little bit and swing, I think is your, or sorry, wait, your left hip and, did I say that? Your
The left hip?
and
Yep.
left shoulder lifted and you swing your, that's the right side?
Yeah,
Did I
yeah,
say
the
that?
right
Yeah,
side,
the right
little
side
bit.
swings to that, yeah, yeah.
There's no toe off, it's like,
Yeah, it's struggling
yeah,
to
just,
get that full
and right
plant
side is.
push off.
Mm.
Nice heel strike, but then when you
Yeah.
follow up with the, it's like you're not getting enough in the extension to be able to fully benefit.
Okay, there are more, but let's say only focus on these for now.
Okay.
What does it mean? You mentioned one of them. There is an extension problem, but that's one of the issues that you saw, but why? Why? What does it translate to? The extension problem, why that happens? Is it a joint problem? Is it a muscle problem? If yes to either of them, which joint, which muscle?
Muscle.
Or muscles,
Muscles.
or joint z?
Muscles, plural, plural. So, hip flexors, glutes, I would say tight inhibited, so you're not able to get the full range of motion for that
Okay.
to move properly.
What else?
What else would be in that? Probably psoas again.
Yeah.
Anything else that's responsible for that, so.
Okay, I didn't plan to do this, but I'm gonna give you one more piece of information. One of you should check the position of ASIS and PSIS on me.
Where they see it's not
Stand on the
level, right?
side. And, or somebody, check the position of pelvic, ASIS, PSIS position, and the way that my pelvic stands. That also give you additional information about the same problem.
See that you're in a posterior pelvic tilt, correct?
I don't know, you're the practitioner, I'm just a stupid patient.
You know it's not level.
Cause I feel like, for me, I see that it's kind of back like this. You guys seeing the same thing? So on a posterior tilt, right? So that would imply that, so I'd assume
How
you're
do you see
Yeah.
posterior tilt without checking
from the
Check
side.
comparing
both
ASIS to
Yes.
PSIS?
You gotta check both sides too, cause one could be one
Wanna
way,
see
one
your-
the other way.
Could be the pits. It's right, I guess it could be the pits too, but. That looks like it to me. Right?
Or go over to, if you could. Let's do PSIS.
That's the big. Here?
I thought you could.
Then compare it to PSIS.
Come back to this. still, right? What we saw? A little posterior tilt.
Yeah,
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 too.
it's
it's
there.
there, it's there.
Yeah. So, with the circle.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you're showing, is close to normal. That's
Okay.
around 8 to 10
Okay, so
degrees,
it's not-
which is, that's what he's showing, is around 8 to 10 degrees. So if that's the case, it's normal.
No, okay.
And why my, so this is a little bit advanced, but I hope you guys start thinking like this from now. I have a big stomach. When you touch my lumbar, I have overlordosis.
Yeah.
And why am I, how could this happen with my pelvic standing straight? Because all of these signs shows you that I'm gonna have a anterior tilt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now why?
The left have anterior tilt.
More likely to be anterior tilt.
Yeah, the left anterior tilt, so that it can, this one tilt forward, the back have to pull you backward.
Yeah, because some of the sacrum would have to adjust somehow then the sacrum.
Closing your lumbar.
I was just thinking
You
maybe
start to
it's
break from your lumbar.
your QL
And
system
sacrum.
and your erection.
So the sacrum is, if you check my sacrum now, oh, this turned out completely something else that I wanted to do, but this is also educational for you guys. Just have to take this off again. Now check the position of the sacrum. So Richard? Yeah, sure.
So you're a little bit into flexion,
Yeah.
and then combine that with your lordosis.
So if my pelvic is sitting straight, almost straight, and my sacrum is in, it goes to your lumbar.
That's what creates.
So
that.
then it creates that overlordosis into my lumbar. But it's impossible for me to have the sacrum deep, the ilium completely standing straight. I haven't checked myself. You only check one side. So check the other side. The other side should be anterior tilted. This side you didn't check.
Yep.
So somebody check ASIs and PSIs on this side.
But that's showing when you're walking.
Yeah, on the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing when he's
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah.
That's the way we're matching. Some of the ball.
Yeah, that is,
Right?
This is the right spot.
it's more than,
It is the right spot.
It's
it is
right
more.
there. You're just a little bit low. It's right there. A little bit higher. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
little,
So now, the third piece of puzzle. I have this. How could I move this leg walking? It's going in, right? So it's limiting my extension. So now I'm doing this.
Blowing it out.
So, like, you need to think of human body as a puzzle. Not puzzle as in you don't know what's going on. It's pieces on top of each other, like Legos. You're going on top of each other and creating something. And every time you see effect on top, there's something else going on. Otherwise, it's not possible. Like, it's not possible for you to tell me that I have a flat, like, not flat, I mean, correct position of the pelvic on both sides, and I have this lordosis. It's just not, never happens. Because if my sacrum is going in, it's pushing on something and changing this shift. And then you see this going on. So when a lot of you guys in class, you think that, oh, Amir can see, like, Lisa was giving me a lot of compliments yesterday that my visual assessment is good. It's just because you have to look for these things. If you see the leg going like that, you know there's something going on. I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what's going on. I know that I have to look for it. Like, if someone walks like me
Yeah.
and is my patient, and I do my assessment on the pelvic and I see that there's no change in the shift into anterior or posterior tilt, it's just normal, I know that I'm doing some of the tests wrong. Either my position is wrong or I'm getting confused with the pants. There's something going on. Because it's not possible for someone to have this much lordosis, lack of mobility walking, restrictions anatomically in the extension, and everything is sitting straight. It's just impossible. Because if my hamstring is so tight, my quads, all these muscles are so tight that limiting the movement of me walking, where are they attached to? They're attached to my joints, right? So it's pulling on the pelvic. It's impossible not to be pulled out. Which one is tighter? We'll consider that we'll create if it's pulling posteriorly or anteriorly. So now if I go lie down again, and you palpate the front on the side that is anterior tilted, and you palpate the other side that is a little more posterior, my hamstring, you're going to see that these two are tighter than these two.
Compensating.
And the reason that I'm walking like that is because of that. And then why I have back pain? Same problem. If your pelvic is sitting like that, you're going to have back pain. Because now the weight of my body, especially for me that I'm overweight, the weight is not being distributed through my body evenly. Even worse than someone like you. Because I have constantly something pulling on my spine from the front.
You have a twist.
And then I have a twist.
So
And now there is angle of pressure this way as well. Then I have psoas being short. And then I'm standing like that. We had this discussion. My brain needs my eyes in the center of my body, right? So then I'm gonna do this. Then that comes with my neck pain. Because now this straight from me is like that. And then as I'm walking, every joint that is weight bearing is under more pressure than normal. Just because the weight is not coming down evenly. That's one of the reasons that I roll my ankle all the time these days. I have tendons that are loose because of my injuries and stuff like that. But normal person walking straight, if it was fit, I wasn't overweight this much, I a little less weight on me, and a little bit of stronger muscles, I won't twist that ankle so much. It's just everything added to each other. Pains on my neck. Right? Any questions up until here? What else did you guys saw? I watched for like 10 minutes. You should have more than what you saw.
Shoulder
a little
imbalance.
bit hip instability.
Okay.
A little bit of hip instability.
What can cause hip instability?
Weakness in the muscles surrounding the joint.
Yeah.
So
But you need to be a little more direct. That's good enough for reality, but just I want to be tougher for you guys right now. Try to guess which muscles
So what is it, the gluteus?
or
the glutes, obviously.
tendons or
Is it the glute med?
Glute med, glute max, probably quad, hamstring. I'd say hip flexors were just short and tight, and I wouldn't say they're necessarily
Some of
weak.
the abdominal muscles.
Yeah.
but tight is also weak, right?
Yeah.
So tight muscles are weak muscles. Because muscles, for muscles to have power, they need blood. When they're tight and all the fascia, muscle, everything is going like that, there's not enough blood going in. There's not enough blood, there's not enough power, so it's weak. Tight is always weak.
It's the QL2.
Yeah. TVI, or TVA, sorry.
What
Transverse.
does lumbo, whatever ligament does, the one right on the side of the pelvic? What does it do? Lumbo, iliolumbar ligament.
Connects with the vertebrae
stabilizing.
to the top of the iliac. That's it.
What motions is involved to?
I guess it's kind of this way.
What am I doing when I'm walking?
So that would be.
Yeah. Do we have anybody else doing that here? Any of you
Maybe
walking
me.
like that?
But
Could you
I-
walk for a second?
Yeah,
If you don't mind.
I don't mind.